Good morning and welcome to another episode of Tea with Z. My name is Zemo Solanki and it's an absolute pleasure to be on here with each and every one of you again for this lovely Monday morning. And I hope you really had a great weekend. And yesterday, if you were celebrating Father's Day in Australia, I know other countries celebrate it in June, for example, in the UK. But if you were celebrating Father's Day yesterday, happy Father's Day to all of the fellow fathers out there, but also those fathers that have passed on and are yet to come as well. So the fathers that are in the making at the moment. So happy Father's Day. And I really hope that each and every one of you had an amazing day. So that's, I guess, what I really wanted to touch on today. So last week, we spoke about, stepping into some things, some unique things, and particularly in the Limitless group, and a big shout out and a special shout out to the Limitless Network. The Limitless Network did join me for an exclusive episode last week where we dived into doing things a little bit differently and dived into, I guess, being conscious of the little voice in our head that sometimes holds us back or sometimes prevents us from doing things a little bit differently. And if you do want to check that episode out, jump over to the Limitless Network because it is exclusively in there. So, but more on the Limitless Network later. And if you are joining live, definitely give me some likes, give me some love, because as always, I love feeding off your energy. So give me a shout out as well and tell me that you're watching. Feel free to comment. And yeah, let's start this interaction. But if you are watching a replay, definitely jump on and comment in the comment section below, because I will personally make sure that I keep the interaction going by replying to each and every one of your comments. And yeah, it's an awesome way to really start communicating and getting on with us. Good morning, Tash. Thanks for jumping on this morning. So today's topic. So what are you going to do differently today? That's the title of the topic. And what really sort of sparked this topic for me today was actually an experience that I had yesterday on my first Father's Day, which was extremely special. So Natasha had organized a few little things just to make sure that I had some quality time. And for us, if you haven't heard of the 5 love languages, her love language is quality time and my love language is act of service. And when you look at love languages and the roles that they play in our lives, it's really important, I guess, when we look at things like the Father's Day, like these family events, where we're actually communicating in a way in which we actually can show appreciation. We can actually show understanding and really step into that. Because at the end of the day, if Natasha, for example, was to do other things or try to communicate to me in other love languages, it definitely wouldn't have been so special. So for her, it was really special about that. We do have quality time, but that we do something that actually benefits and serves us. So what she did, what she organized is we did a bushwalk, and then we had a lovely picnic. So nothing too extravagant, but really good in the sense that we both fulfilled our cups and our love languages. So what I guess I really wanted to do today was just a little bit about what we got up to. If you do want to see some cheeky photos about what we did get up to, though, feel free to jump on to our Instagram. Our Instagram shows all the little behind the scenes of our shenanigans, and that's it there. So at Zamel Solanki, that's our handle there. But what I really wanted to touch on today is really about doing things a little bit differently. Yesterday, when the day started off, it was absolutely fantastic. We started off low key at home because we're governed by Syra's time frame as well. So when she wakes up, when she needs a feed, when she needs a nap, and if we're doing something quite outdoorsy, that all plays into that. But it started off really nice, and then when we got out and started our bushwalk, I immediately started thinking about all the work I needed to do. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because as health entrepreneurs, you might be able to relate to this. As running your business or running your own health entrepreneur journey, it's very easy for us to start to get distracted with other things that we need to do. And when we started off doing this bushwalk yesterday, I started off walking with Tash, and I'm holding Sarah, and my mind started to drift. My mind started to think about and mentally start to tick off things on a task list, or add things to a task list of things I need to do around the house, things I need to do for work this week, things I need to do for work this morning. And what I really quickly found was that I wasn't present. I wasn't present in the moment. And even though I wasn't holding this, and a lot of people talk about this, talk about the role that phones have in our lives, about I guess, the prevention of us being present in the moment. But to me, it's not just that. That is an external factor. This is an external factor. But for me, I was lacking the mindset and the clarity to be present. So for me, the distraction was here. It wasn't in a phone, it was actually in my mind. And as a result of that, I started to realize that I wasn't present in the moment. I wasn't actually engaging with my family in a really meaningful way. And when we look at days like Father's Day, one of the biggest values for us, and our number one value, is family. And that's what Tash and I have discovered, is our number one value is family. And when I wasn't actually present in that moment, I realized I was very quickly doing a disservice to my values. I wasn't living my value. I wasn't actually displaying the traits required to hold up that value at that point in time. And it really dawned on me the fact that, just even though that we focus on things like that, we focus on trying to live our values and to actually live up to them, and family being one of them. But what really dawned on me yesterday was actually this holding me back. This holding me back from actually living that value. And so what I really wanted to chat with you today about and ask you is, well, what are you doing differently? What are you doing differently, or what can you do differently to make sure that you are actually truly living your value? And to me, that comes down to a level of presence. Whatever that value might be, it's being present in that moment and actually really resonating with that value. Because at the end of the day, it's one thing to actually try to strive to live towards it. It's one thing to actually, I guess, aspire to emulate those values. But when you then bring a mindful presence to that, for me yesterday, it just totally changed the game. And that was something really unique, something really, really unique. So my question to you is, it's not just about being values, but what are you doing differently today to be present, to be present in your workplace, to be free of some distraction that is holding you back in order, and preventing you from reaching or fulfilling your goal? And this one thing that I don't want you just to think about for today, but at least for the rest of the week, and then start to turn this into a habit. Because by recognizing what we need to do in order to live our values, and for me, one of those things, and one of the major things, is presence, how can then we ensure that we are present in every moment? How can we ensure that we are free from distractions? And even though I was in the middle of nature, I wasn't looking at my phone, and my phone wasn't even on me. I was holding my bow, and yet, my mind started to drift, and I was like, well, wait a minute. I've got, all these other things to do. Why am I out here bushwalking right now when I've got other things I need to do at home? I've got other things I need to do with work. And then I quickly realized, and I had to catch it back and go, well, wait a minute. No, this is family. This is family time. This is my first Father's Day. And snap back into the zone. And for the rest of the day, I was present. I made sure I was present. And oh my God, it was just a game changer. It was a total game changer. And so for me, it's not about just referencing these external sources, because that's what we talk about a lot. We talk about the external distractions in our environment. But what are you doing differently up here today to ensure that you are present? What question are you asking yourself? Is it that, do I need to focus on this right now? Is this important to me right now? Or is something else actually important? And so going out, not only for the rest of today, but for the rest of the week, have that thought. Have that thought. And I'd like to hear what your thoughts are as well about that. Is what distracts you? What takes you out of being present? What is holding you back? And maybe it's not being present, but maybe it's something else. But for me, I believe for most of us, it is presence. It is a lack of presence. And that then translates to a lack of awareness, a lack of understanding, a lack of enjoyment, because we're not in that moment. And as a result of that, we're not actually present. We're not actually present. And that was the biggest thing that I realized yesterday, is like, regardless of all the work that we've got to get done at the moment, yesterday was about family, was about my number one value. Being present in that moment was just the absolute game changer. So how can you then be present with your team? How can you be present with your colleagues? How can you be present with your family, with your friends, to ensure that the interactions that you have are meaningful, that you, whatever your values might be, those can be upheld, and you can do that. So going out this week, how are you going to do things a little bit differently? And what does that difference look like to you? Is it being a little bit more present? Is it being a bit less distracted? What does it look like to you? And definitely comment in the comment section below, because I'd really love to hear what that means to you, how you can do things a little bit differently. Because for me, being present yesterday was an absolute game changer. And for me, it allowed me to focus and to realize that there's different things that are happening in the world right now, in my own little world with my family. And it allowed me to focus in on that. And so for you, what benefit and what impact would it have on your business doing things a little bit differently, taking the time to be present? So that's it from me today. Once again, a really, really special shout out to all the fathers out there. Happy belated Father's Day, being Monday. But also a really special shout out to those that are joining me from the Limitless Network. The Limitless Network is an exclusive network of like-minded health entrepreneurs. Now, they don't necessarily have to own business. We've got engineers, lawyers, physios, you name it. There's a whole bunch, tattooists. We've got a whole bunch of different, industry backgrounds in this network. But one thing in common, we all value health. We all value health. So if we all value health, touching on that, then how are you going to do things a bit differently to make sure that you're living those values today? Not only today, but tomorrow. How are you going to be sure that what you're doing is conscious and you're present in your decision making? So definitely comment in the comment section below. But that's it from me today. What are you going to do differently? How are you going to do it? What's going to change up here rather than blaming what's out there? So that's it from me today. Have an amazing, amazing day. Stay safe, stay well. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Tea with Z. And like I said, if you are watching a replay, comment in the comment section below. But I'd love to hear what you are going to do differently today. All the best now, and I look forward to catching up with you on another episode of Tea with Z tomorrow. Take care. Have a great day. Bye now.